Hi guys, welcome back to another White Wolf home workout. We're here with our dumbbell series. So I'm here with Coach Ben and Coach Benji. They're working out today. We'll have a wee chat through our warm-up movements now and then jump into that and talk through the main workout afterwards, okay? So we have a 5-minute AMRAP on the warm-up, 3 different movements. The first one, Benji's gonna demonstrate. It's gonna be 10 reps per side of a calf rock back. So we go to a tall plank or push-up position, cross the feet. Then we're gonna reach the hips back, so like a pike position, and we're thinking about driving the planted foot heel down towards the ground, okay? And you should get a big stretch through your calf. So don't rush through the reps, try and prioritize your range of motion, and you're just gonna cross the legs so that you get 10 on each side, okay? After that, we're just gonna do simple 10 lunges, just stepping forward. On this one for now, reverse lunges in the workout. Simple, keep it nice and slow and controlled, feel the tension, and back knee lightly touching the ground each rep. So 10 on that, and then finally 10 hollow rocks. Should be familiar to most people, but again, keep the shoulder blades up off the ground, so it's just lower back, mid back on the ground. We're keeping nice and tight on the abs to keep the rib cage locked down, and arms overhead with the heels together and toes pointed, okay? If the full hollow rock position like that is challenging for you, we can do a tuck rock where we'll pull the knees in, bring the arms forward. That'll make it a wee bit easier to keep a good position in the center. Okay, so 10 reps on each side for the rock backs, and then 10 reps of the lunge and 10 of the hollow rocks. Okay, we will jump in on 10 seconds for that 5-minute warm-up. 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Okay guys, so as I mentioned there, try and prioritize your range of motion on these, okay? So think about really drive the heel down towards the floor and push the hips back, so you'll feel it primarily on the calves, but you maybe get a bit of a hamstring stretch as well if you're doing a good job of reaching back with the hips or the bum. So 10 reps, then just cross your feet the other direction, and 10 reps on the other side. Make sure you're doing a good job of keeping the elbows locked out as well, and the arms. You're getting a wee bit of shoulder stability work there at the same time. Okay, our second movement, for anyone moving on to that soon, is going to be just your lunges. Try to keep the hands off the legs or off the body so that it's your legs doing all the work and all the stabilization. Nice flat foot on the front foot, and then a gentle touch of the back knee to the ground, okay? You don't want to bang the knee off the floor, just like a gentle touch so that you're maintaining tension the whole time. Cool, 10 reps of that, then 10 hollow rocks is our third movement before we go back to the beginning. Again, like all of our warm-up movements, don't rush these reps. Try to focus on creating max tension rather than getting through the reps as quickly as possible, okay? You want max benefit. This is getting you ready for the next part to come. We have done just around 2 minutes, so 3 more minutes left of the warm-up. If you're keeping pace with the guys here, we're just starting round 2 of the warm-up. So to really maximize your range of motion on this, think about push the chest through the shoulders as the hips and the heel come back as well. So if you're doing a good job of that, you'll even be challenging your overhead position, which we will be using during the next part of the workout as well. Okay, 2 more minutes left. If you're feeling good, you can maybe pick up the pace a wee bit on the lunges, but again, prioritizing maintaining control and creating tension. When you come to your hollow rocks, really think about engaging the front of your core, your abs, keep the rib cage locked down. Okay, so that's avoiding extending through the back, which is not what we want in that position. Okay, 1 more minute of the warm-up here. So moving a wee bit quicker, guys. Hopefully we are feeling a bit physically warmer, core body temperature increasing, a wee bit of blood flowing, and then we'll be able to move a wee bit quicker through our movements, and hopefully with a wee bit more range of motion, feeling a wee bit more comfortable in the end ranges compared to the start. 20 more seconds. Three, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, nice work, guys. While you at home can catch your breath, we'll just have a wee chat through the movements that we're about to use and the format of the workout. We're going to have an 18-minute running clock. We'll begin with a 6-minute EMOM, and then we have a 12-minute AMRAP afterwards, okay? So Ben's going to demonstrate the first movement in the EMOM, which is going to be an overhead reverse lunge. So he's got the dumbbell locked out overhead, nice strong arm, and then just stepping back into that lunge position, back knee lightly touch the ground, and then stand all the way up, okay? So with 12 reps in the minute, what we'll do is 6 reps where we alternate with the legs while holding overhead on your right arm, and then after 6 reps, you will swap the weight to your left arm or vice versa, okay? Our second movement then, Benji's going to demonstrate, is going to be an object pullover. So he's going to lie on his back, bring the heels up on the floor, just bend the knees there a wee bit, yeah, cool, just like that, sweet. So similar to like our hollow body position here, we're thinking about being really engaged, locking the rib cage down. Then Benji's going to lift the weight up over his head in this position. He's really squeezing his chest and his lats down the side here. And then he's going to lower under control, nice and slow, keeping tension until the weight again just lightly touches the ground, if your flexibility will allow you to do that, okay? But if at any point you feel like you're struggling to hold that tension at the front, just reduce the range of motion and focus on maintaining the tension. All right, so it's going to be 12 reps of that. Keep them controlled so that you can feel the tension. You could get through it very quickly, but you're not going to get the benefit if you're not engaging the correct muscles at the right time, okay? So that's our 6-minute EMOM, those 2 movements. Then we have a 12-minute AMRAP. First movement on that is going to be 6 reps per side of a single arm thruster. So Ben's starting in this rack position. One head of the dumbbell is touching the shoulder there. He's keeping the elbow nice and high, and then he's going to do his front squat, and at the top he's going to drive that weight overhead. All right, so you'll see as he drives the weight overhead, he's keeping the legs locked out, he's not dropping underneath. He's going to do 6 reps there, then just swap over to the other side and a further 6 reps, all right? Doesn't matter which arm you start on, as long as you're doing 6 on each side. Our second movement then is going to be 20 reps of a toe touch star jump. So you're going to reach down, touch your toes, then jump up into your star jump position, okay? Awesome, cool. So both sort of quite challenging movements in terms of elevating the heart rate. So it could be a tough 12 minutes. So try to pace accordingly. Once we set the clock here, the clock's just going to run for the 18. So as soon as we finish the 6, once we hit 7 minutes, then we're going to jump into the AMRAP, okay? So be ready. We'll give you guys 60 seconds now just to grab a drink of water, make sure you have your object, and then we will jump in, okay guys? Three, two, one. Okay, let's go, guys. So first movement, the overhead reverse lunges. Again, the focus is on maintaining tension and control, so it can be quite a tough one to stabilize on, so just slow it down to make sure that you're maintaining balance throughout the movement. Remember, swap arms after your 6 reps like the guys have just done here. And the entire time we're thinking about reaching that weight up towards the ceiling so we have a nice straight arm. Cool, so done in about 30 seconds there or so if you're working at a good strong pace. If you are maybe off balance a bit with that, and 12 reps is a lot because you're having to slow it down to keep balance, just drop it down to something you can do in maybe roughly 45 seconds work, okay? And minute 2 coming up, that's our pullover. So on the ground, prioritizing the midline tension, and then nice straight arms reaching back behind the head. So just come up so that the weight's sort of directly above the shoulders, roughly. And in that position, again, we're thinking about squeezing the chest, squeezing the lats down the side of the arms. So I think squeeze your armpits might help engage those muscles at the top. Again, we have 12 reps as well. Nice tight core, just exactly the same as that hollow body position that we did on the warm-up. So you're locking the rib cage down and tucking the pelvis underneath. Cool, round 1 done. Back to the lunges again. So it's lunges in 3, 2, 1, let's go. If you are noticing as you do this movement that one arm or one shoulder is a wee bit less stable than the other and a bit more challenging, it might be an idea to start on that slightly less dominant side so that your legs aren't quite as tired, and then you can really focus on your overhead stability for those reps. What the guys are doing a good job of here as you do the reps is keeping a roughly shoulder width stance. So sometimes people will go too narrow with their feet, and then that can contribute to some of the instability. So if you're noticing that you're a wee bit off balance, try going a wee bit wider with the feet and see how that plays out. Okay, 10 seconds to the pullovers. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, nice straight arms, and again, focusing on tension. You're going to get as much out of this exercise as you put into it, so don't rush through the reps. It's not about getting the reps in, it's about getting the work done, okay? Keep squeezing the core throughout the reps, guys, keeping the lower back and the mid back tight to the ground. Good job. Okay, we have one more round. So one set of lunges, one set of pullovers to finish. Lunges, we'll be back in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So remember that slightly wider stance if you need to try and find a bit more balance. The foot on the lead leg, we want to be nice and flat on the ground so that we have full contact with the floor, and again, lots of stability coming from that. Nice work, guys. Just the pullovers to finish our EMOM, and then we're straight into the 12-minute AMRAP at the start of the next minute. Okay, I'll start that in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So no doubt you're feeling, as I know the guys are here too, this is a very challenging movement for your core as well. So you're really challenging the overhead position. So a lot of the time when you bring the weight overhead, you'll lose your midline. What we're really doing is fighting to maintain the midline as we bring that weight overhead. Just like the knee on the lunges, when the weight touches the ground, if you're getting that much range of motion, try not to lose tension. Try to maintain the tension for the way back up. Good job, guys, keep going. Okay, nice work. We have about 10 seconds until we begin our AMRAP. Okay, so 6 reps each side, single arm thrusters to begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So try to keep the chest up and obviously heels down on the ground, so a nice strong squatting position, and then a really strong lockout overhead. So that position should be well warmed up after the overhead lunges. You might be a wee bit tired as well from all the reps there. So just make sure you're getting really good lockout. Okay, our toe touch star jump is the next movement. So reach down, touch the toes, try to keep the legs relatively straight as your flexibility will allow, and then jump up into that star jump position. So jumping the feet out and the hands overhead. So this will be a tough one, guys, because it's quite a tough position to breathe in, the toe touch star jump. So when the heart rate's elevated from the thrusters, then you're going into a movement that's hard to recover your breath. So this will be a tough 12 minutes. So pace yourself at the beginning here. So let's make sure you're really focusing on breathing out as the weight comes up overhead on the thrusters. As I say, it's going to be difficult to find a natural breathing pattern on this. So really consciously breathing out as the weight goes overhead. It's going to help keep the heart rate in check as best we can. Make sure the chest comes all the way up when we're doing our star jump as well, guys. Just sort of similar like if we were doing an air squat, we don't want to be chest forward. We want the hips fully open at the top, same as like a burpee, any movement like that. Really tight midline on the thrusters as well, guys, okay? The weight might be trying to pull you forward in your squat and you want to resist that, so keep the chest up, keep the eyes up, and really tight core, squeezing the whole time, alright? The guys are now working on the star jumps of round 3, I think. So just as a wee pacing guideline, if you were trying to keep up or keep ahead of them at home, if you're really pushing the pace, that's where they are. coming up on 4 minutes into the workout, or a third of the way through. So pacing wise, we should still be at a sustainable pace. We don't want to have went out too hot at the start and dropping off on the pace. We want to keep nice and controlled here, something that we can hold for most of the rest of the workout here. So if you are getting it really tight in terms of the breathing and the heart rate at home, maybe slow down the star jumps a little bit and take a wee breath, an extra breath at the top of each rep. We'd rather have a wee bit of like consistent moving, but with a bit more slight rest between reps than taking one long rest between a set as such. Good job, guys. Okay, remember jumping the feet out and hands overhead on those star jumps every time. So it's quite a dynamic movement. If you're finding that on the thruster, guys, as well, that weight is getting challenging to get overhead, you might find that that's because your squat's possibly getting a wee bit harder and your squat's slowing down. So try to be really dynamic and fast through that middle portion of the squat to give your arms a wee bit of assistance from the lower body to get the weight locked out overhead. Sometimes, especially when you get tired, it's about being efficient with your movement. Okay, we have hit the halfway point. Keep fighting to hold your pace here, guys. Doing really well, more than halfway through the workout. So hopefully we've settled into pace. Now let's just fight to hold on to it for as long as we can. Just keep focusing on the movement and focus on your breathing patterns. What round are we on now, guys? We're not sure. We're not sure what round we're on, guys. So 6 maybe, somewhere around there. Remember on your thrusters as well, guys, we're really looking for that strong lockout of the elbow overhead and directly above the shoulder, but also bringing one side of the dumbbell or one head of the dumbbell to touch your shoulder in that rack position, okay? So make sure you're not reducing the range of motion at the shoulder either. Same idea if you have a kettlebell or anything, if that's what your object is, all the way to the shoulder and then all the way locked out overhead. Okay, we have 4 minutes left on the clock, 2/3 of the way through. Again, try to pace yourself so that you can keep moving relatively steady without being forced to take big breaks. We're on the final stretch now, so really fight to hold the pace that you've been working at here and focusing on your breathing on both movement patterns. Okay, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, guys, as well, in the thrusters, keeping the core really tight, again, gets more and more important. The deeper you get into a workout, the more fatigued you are, the heavier you're going to be breathing, the harder it is to brace your midline, okay? So as you get more tired, you're going to have to focus on that even more, okay? So even if these movements are familiar to you and you've done them 100 times or more, we want to be focusing on our movement quality every rep, especially as the workout goes on, okay? 2.5 minutes. Okay, we're coming up on just 2 minutes left on the clock, guys. If you've paced yourself well, try to pick up the pace a wee tiny bit, start to increase the pace, and then with a minute to go, we'll just go as hard as we can, try to, increase the pace as much as we really can. Good job. Keep breathing, guys, throughout. If you are increasing your pace, remember you're still breathing. Good. 1.5 minutes. Try to minimize transitions between movements now at this stage, okay? That's one way to increase your pace. Straight into the next movement, a wee bit of urgency now as the timer comes to a close soon. Just over 1 minute on the clock. You can notice now Ben's doing a good job of, he's increased his cycle time or speed on the thrusters. He was really controlling it earlier to pace himself. Now he's going quite fast. So less than 1 minute to go, guys. This is it. Big push at the finish point. Good job. The guys have got a good strong pace on the star jumps as well here. Plenty of time to rest after this, so let's work really hard for the next 30 seconds or so. That's it, guys. Time to push now. Let's go. Good. Really strong, really tight on the thrusters, squeezing everything, squeezing the core, locking out overhead, really strong. Last 20 seconds, let's keep moving. Straight into your next rep, next movement, guys. Good. 10 seconds. Keep moving. Really strong finish as always. Let's go. Keep pushing. Last few seconds. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Well done, guys. Tough workout there. Definitely. That last 12 minutes is one that is for sure going to get your heart rate jacked up. But that's what we're here for, okay? Really hope you enjoyed that workout, guys. I can see that the guys definitely enjoyed that by the look on their faces. And we hope to see you tomorrow for another home workout. Take care, guys.